Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by once again and supporting your girl on this channel. So, in today's video,
The Utah State Legislature just passed a bill getting rid of public unions. There is a lot to unpack here, but it just passed in the House, so it hasn't passed in the Senate. It hasn't been signed into law. But also, what you should know is Utah is like a political test tube for conservatives because it's so conservative, like pretty much supermajority are conservative representatives, that the Republicans take the most far right things and laws they can do and try and get them passed in states like Utah where they can get passed, just to see how it goes and how it can gain traction. And so this one is really interesting. But also, what you should know is in Utah, because it's more conservative, you can still have unions, but they aren't as strong as they are in some other states. And there can be a lot of problems here in Utah. There's not a lot of good training in unions, and there's a lot of issues with personal representatives in unions and getting the representation that you need. And I've sued quite a few unions here in Utah with the lack of representation and leaving my clients high and dry. But so they're trying to abolish it completely, and there's including teacher unions, and there's a lot of teachers, because the union is so bad, that they just opt out of the union and they get insurance, and because of that, then they don't have to deal with a union representative. They just have insurance and they can get an attorney like me to represent them, which can be a lot better, especially with how crazy it is understanding public employment law and your rights, your constitutional rights as a public employee. So that's one thing that the bill does, is it still requires them to get professional liability insurance. So as a practical matter, I can see how it can be more beneficial, because having an attorney could be way better than what a lot of people are dealing with the current union as is. But also, it's a First Amendment issue, because you're essentially abolishing their right to assemble, the free speech, bargaining rights. So there's issues to unpack there as well. I don't think the law as it stands will be able to pass, but I think that also something has to be done with the unions. Again, I've been suing them all the time. It needs to be fixed. I don't know if abolishing them is the way to go, but there needs to be, they need to beef it up. They need better training with their unions. Representatives need to understand so many people get terminated or have issues where they don't have representation present. So there's a lot of Weingartner rights that get stepped on. So yeah, Utah's fun.
They're claiming that we made a deal with them. We never made a deal with them on neutrality until we talked to our membership. Our membership with AFT, AFSCME, CWA, and Teamsters was overwhelmingly no. We don't want a neutral stance. So we listened to you. The reason why this is circled and the reason why we are here right now is because all of you stood in solidarity and we're together. They have never seen a presence like this before. This has not been an easy fight. If they had the votes on number one, they would have ran it by now. They don't. And if they run it today, we will let them know, not acceptable. We still have chances that we can do this. Still call your senators. Text into them right now. You let them know that you are out here waiting. You want them to vote no on number one. And if you don't feel good about those substitutes, you tell them you don't even like those. This is you. We're a democracy. We listen to our people. We don't give in to pressure.
I can't understand how any union member voted for Trump outside of voting for racism. Notice in that video, You don't see a black face nowhere in that crowd. Black people and minorities are being locked out of the blue collar jobs. I believe it's going to be our downfall. A lot of people don't want to do blue collar jobs. We need to motivate kids more to get into the trades, but the trades are full of racism, sexism, nepotism, and favoritism. We need to eliminate it in our unions. It's disgusting. It's time. You guys voted against your own money. You should have voted for your families. You voted for racism. Fuck around and find out.
So the people I feel bad for are the people in the unions who did not vote for these legislators. Ohio in 2011, we had Ohio Senate Bill 5. And this basically would have stripped all public workers of their right to unionize and eliminate all the unions. They had petitions go out, they signed them, it went for a vote in November, and that shit failed. Like it did not pass at all. Yeah, it was they called that at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and our polls closed at 7:30. But it blows my mind. And this was introduced under Republican legislature in Ohio. And I do not feel bad for union workers who are registered Republicans and vote Republicans when time and time again, the Republican Party has showed they do not give a fuck about you. So all you folks in unions in Utah that are Democrats or at least use your brain and are like, hey, these people aren't good. Let me not vote for them. Let me vote for the Democrats. I feel bad for you. Anybody else, you fucked around and now you're finding out. It's hard to feel bad for you.
Let the union busting games begin. This bill prohibits public employers from recognizing labor organizations for negotiating. This prohibits people from entering collective bargaining contracts. Basically, Utah's House of Representatives just shit all over their teachers, their firefighters, their police officers, their EMTs, probably CPS workers, and all sorts of employees. Unfortunately, this is only the beginning. It'll soon be private sector, and it'll be many, many more states. It's all part of P2025, just like we said. Not to mention that 45 and Muscanazi here, they hate unions. They hate them.
So all credit goes to the creators in this video, and shout out to them. But guys, let me ask you a question. Why is it that when things don't hurt people directly, they don't seem to care? But when things come to hurt them directly, that's when they start to think that, oh, okay, this thing is actually affecting me directly. It's time to protest. Now that the labor union will not be able to negotiate on your behalf for better wages and working conditions, now you have come out. If you guys look into the videos, not even one of them had their MAGA apparatus on, because I'm very sure that most of them in that room voted for you know who. They didn't have their MAGA apparatus that they have been parading around for the past 8 years. So now, Utah Union members seeing themselves where they didn't imagine. Now they are forced to protest for even basic things like the ability to unionize. I mean, they couldn't even have imagined themselves in that shoe. Now they are looking for solidarity. Where was this solidarity energy when they were needed during the campaigns? And these were the same workers that believed in the promises the government made to them. But now they are seeing that it's not so. They are saying that the plan has backfired, and you're asking people to fight the injustice against you. Well, it's FAFO. You are finding out. Now you are discovering that your work is at stake. You are discovering that your family's safety is at stake. And now you are asking for solidarity. Please, just answer me this simple question. Now you want solidarity. Where were you when solidarity was being asked of you a couple of months ago before the election? And who are those that you are asking to stand in solidarity for you? Because it definitely cannot be those that you voted with against your self-interest. Okay, the same ones who needed you during the elections and you turned against them, are those the same people you are asking to stand in solidarity for you? Like that other woman said, she said she just pities those that didn't FA that effing O. That's who I also pity too. Those that did not F around and they are finding out. And I read a comment on one of the posts. Somebody said instead of researching, they were listening to Fox News. Please, guys, what's it with Fox News? Is it do they what kind of news do they share? Because I really did not get that joke. And so many people were also saying it that yeah, instead of researching, they were listening to Fox News. Anyways, that's just by the way. But the reality of the matter is that you effed around and you are finding out. Well, there's nothing we can do. We can't take pity on you. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about this Utah people, their workers, and whatever it is that is going on with them now. Let me know in the comment section. Thank you for listening, guys. I'll see you in my next video. Please don't forget to stay safe. It's very important. Ciao.